California's Courts, Judicial Council. The second piece of the California Judicial Branch is Branch Administration and Policy. Branch Administration and Policy falls squarely with the Judicial Council of California, which incorporates the administrative office of the courts. The Judicial Council is the policy-making body of the state courts. It provides policy guidelines to the courts. It makes recommendations to the governor and the legislature. It adopts and revises California rules of court, which are the rules which talk about court administration, how practice should happen in the courts, and the procedures which the court will follow. The administrative office of the courts is a staff agency of the Judicial Council. It's located right downtown in San Francisco at 455 Golden Gate Avenue. This is where all the administration for all of the courts in California flows through. Judicial Council membership and qualifications. There are 21 voting members of the Judicial Council. The Chief Justice is always on the Judicial Council, as well as 14 judges who are appointed by the Chief Justice. In addition, there are 4 attorneys appointed by the State Bar Board of Governors and 2 legislators, one from each of the houses in California, one from the Senate and one from the Assembly. To choose these people, they are first nominated and then they are appointed. They serve in staggered terms. That means that 1/3 of the council changes every year. So only 1/3 will be up for appointment or nomination, while the other 2/3 are still within their term. In addition to the 21 voting members, there are 11 advisory members. These are court administrators, the chair of the council's trial court presiding judges advisory committee, president of the California Judges Association. Now we'll talk about Judicial Council forms. The Judicial Council forms are likely what the Judicial Council is known best for. Although the administrative office of the courts really plays a huge role in making sure that our judges and our courts run efficiently, the Judicial Council forms are what millions of practitioners and pro per litigants rely on when they're going to go and file forms with the courts themselves. Judicial Council forms were made so that it was easier for the public to access the forms that they need in order to conduct business with the court. You can go online to www.courts.ca.gov/forms.htm to follow along. You can see all of the different forms that California has online, and they're available for download or for fill-in and printout use. When you go to the website, this is what you first see. Of course, this is part of the California Courts website, and in this particular section you get to browse all of the forms which the Judicial Council has made digital in order for practitioners to use. You can see that there's the Select a Category box, all forms listed by name, or all forms listed by number. If I wanted to find a form and I didn't know what the form was called, I would click on the Select the Category drop-down box, and a whole list of different types of subject matters would pop up. I could scroll and look for different pleadings and different names of forms that I don't know the answer to simply by choosing the category which they would fall under. For example, if I wanted to find a form in small claims to file a small claims lawsuit, I could select small claims from the drop-down menu. After selecting small claims, this menu would come up. It then lists all of the forms which relate to small claims. You can see that the very first form there, the SC-100, is plaintiff's claim in order to go to small claims court. If I click on SC-100, the form itself actually pops up. You can click in the little boxes. For example, I wanted to click in the box where it says Superior Court of California, County of, and I can fill in the information for the Superior Court which is closest to me, where I'm going to file the small claims form. I can also fill in the case number and the case name. You can fully fill out the form online before printing it out. although the system will not allow you to save the form. And so make sure you print before leaving the form. Additionally, if you are sharing a computer with someone else, make sure that you clear the form and close the browser when you're finished, or else that form may be open for someone else to see. Additionally, you can see all of the forms listed by name. If you click on that link, then the results will show all of the forms in alphabetical order listed by name. Sometimes you know the name of the form and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you know only part of it. Some useful things to do are to search through the listing that is there. You can use a simple Control F search to pop up a box and put in your terms that you want to search for. I typed in small claims, and that brought up a lot of different results, including the SC100, Plaintiff's Claim in Order to Go to Small Claims Court. My search term will be highlighted, so it's easy for me to find. And again, I can click on the SC100 link, which is on the left side, and it will pop up the PDF of this form. Now, like I said, same thing applies when you go through it this way, that you will not be able to save this because it is just a fillable PDF online. You may save as to your computer, but you will not be able to edit it later unless you have a very advanced form of Adobe, which allows you, I believe Adobe Professional allows you to actually go in and manipulate the fields. So you can either print out the form itself before filling it up, or you can fill it out first and then print it out, but you will not be able to save it on the system because it's just an interactive PDF form. These are exactly the same forms as you would find if you went to the court clerk and asked for the small claims packet. She would give you the same forms that came with the small claims packet, and you can ask her, are these the same forms that are available on the Judicial Council website? And she'd say, yeah, those are the same ones. In fact, it's almost better to get all of your forms from here than to get them from other sources such as self-help books, or maybe even some, self-help centers, for example, because these get updated very regularly. The Judicial Council forms are always changing. Whenever they're updated for some reason, then they go up here. And so sometimes you may run into having an old form if, for example, you're picking up an old book that you've seen and newer editions have come out. The form may be similar, but it may be missing some components of a new law. I should say self-help centers in the courts are actually not that bad. That's why I hesitated to say them. But definitely if you're going to use books, if you're going to use some old forms that have been laying around in a stack at the library, you want to make sure that that form is the most current one. And so another thing you can use the Judicial Council Forms website for is to find the form online and click on it to make sure that the version, which on the lower left-hand corner of the form, is the same one as the one that you have in your hand that you're going to fill out and file with the court. If you fill out and file a form which is not up to date, then it may be rejected by the clerk at the time you try to file.